Here are 3 ways to reduce sibilance in FL Studio. First is by doing it manually. Go to the drop-down menu of the clip. In the Sample section, hit Edit Sample. Next, change the view from Waveform to Spectrum, highlight the sibilance section, and EQ them out one by one. Now you can send it back to the playlist. Second is by using a multi-band compressor. Drag the fruity multi-band compressor to the track and bypass the first 2 bands, as we are only concerned with the high frequencies. Next, tweak the cutoff just enough to cover the sibilant frequencies and play around with the threshold and ratio to taste. You can temporarily mute the first 2 bands to hear if the desired effect is correctly achieved. Third is by using Maximus. Drag Maximus to the track, browse its preset and select DS or narrow band. Notice that the midband is the only one that is active. Next, activate signal monitoring and contain the sibilance using the lower and upper limit and adjust the compression curve until the desired effect is achieved.
How to use your smartphone or tablet as MIDI controller in FL Studio. Step 1. Go to your App Store and download ImageLine Remote. Step 2. Connect both your device and computer to the same network. Step 3. Open FL Studio's MIDI settings and enable ImageLine Remote. Last step is to open the app and select FL Studio. And that's it! Now you can input MIDI notes and drum patterns through that. You'll also be able to adjust the mixer fader and trigger any FL's transport functions remotely.
How to sort out FL Studio's plugin database. First, go to View and click on the browser or click this icon to make the browser window appear. You can find your way to the plugin database from either the main page or to the actual plugin database page. Next, right-click on it and click Open. As you can see, there are 3 folders: the Effects folder, the Generator folder, and the last one is the Installed folder. The first 2 are pretty self-explanatory, but the Installed folder is where all detected plugins are stored, including the built-in plugins. Let's create a scenario where we want to organize our freshly installed effects plugins by their manufacturer's name. So now we need to create a new folder and name it after the manufacturer. Next, highlight all those plugins and move them to the folder. Now, do the same thing for the rest of the plugin. After all of it gets finished, move them to their respective paths. Remember that you need them in their correct folder type, otherwise, FL Studio will not recognize them. Now you can find those plugins easily in the plugin list.
How to sidechain a frequency band in FL Studio. First, drag a Fruity Peak controller on the sidechain source and a Fruity Parametric EQ in the sound that you want to sidechain to. Next is you select a band and adjust its range to your taste. When you're done, right-click the fader of that band and select Link to Controller. Now select Peak plus LFO and then invert its mapping formula. At this point, you're already done. You just have to adjust these parameters to your taste. How to set up a reference track in FL Studio. First, add your reference track to the playlist via track mode and then move its mixer channel to the left so you can easily switch between that and the master. And the last step is to detach it from the master and set up its own playback output. The reason for that is we don't want the master effects chain to affect our reference track. You can even add Maximus to a reference track so you can solo certain bands and accurately hear those frequencies that you want to reference to. And that's it!